Bitte. Okay.
Herzlich willkommen zur Pressekonferenz.
Welcome to the press conference. Your questions, please. You have changed your tactics with Chaka at the back, so now we'll have to talk about that. Can you explain what your thoughts were? Why did you do that? And what did you tell your players at halftime after a difficult first half? Well, we knew that the first half would be very difficult, that Arsenal would create a lot of pressure. About the change of formation, well, yeah, the intention was to not give Arsenal so much space, all the space that they want, and the system actually worked at times, and as long as we defended offensively, it worked well. After the 1-0 we had a very good phase of about 10-15 minutes, so we played that system very well. But then we also had phases where we lacked the courage to defend high. And I just had the opportunity to watch a few scenes, and every time Arsenal were dangerous, we put a bit of pressure on them, but then we just stopped putting pressure on them. And yes, and there are quite a few things that we have to improve, of course. Not only defending, but also like in opening up the game. So we just made too many mistakes there. We were not precise enough. And then we had 3 or 4 chances in the first half, and we just didn't finish them consequently. So yes, we worked well, but then the last bit just wasn't there. So it seemed that always when the back 5 were all on the same line, it was worse. Like in the second half, it looked a bit better. Yeah, well, whenever you put pressure on the player on the ball, then it's good. But if you don't have courage and you just go back, then this is exactly what happens at the 1-0. So there were 5 players on one line that didn't put pressure on the player on the ball, but then you also saw the quality on the Arsenal players, and they are so quick. And if you invite them to play their game, well, yeah, that's what we did. And we didn't do it well.
This is in the second half. Do you think if any of those went in, you know, if it was 2-1, do you think the course of the game could have changed?
Yes, it's always possible that a game changes. Yes, the second half was better on our side, but I think it could have been 3-0 before that, actually. So yes, but if you really have that chance to score the 2-1, then you have to take your chances. But that's when we just lacked the last bit of belief, the last will, last desire. We didn't have that, and had we scored the goal, well, yeah, who knows? It might have become interesting. But I think the result is certainly okay. you could say it's courageous to play with such a system. There was a lot at stake. Lots of people watched, but you could also say it might be a bit difficult to play with such a formation after you've never tried that before, and then you play that against such a strong opponent. Well, yeah, I think, well, the opposite would be stupid. So what is the opposite? Well, as you say, it wasn't about courage. It was belief which system is the best against Arsenal. And this has nothing to do with courage. That has to do with belief, not with courage. Because otherwise that would be stupid, the opposite. So that's why I'm saying no, nope. We still believe. I think that sometimes it just didn't work well. In some phases we did that very well, and we also have to say that in these kind of games you have to try new things, because this is the way to get something. And last year, for example, at Fiorentina, we also changed the formation. Then we had a back three, and we managed to win 2-1 there. So this has nothing to do with courage, but with belief. And after what I studied about Arsenal, I thought this would be the best system against this team. You play in the Super League every week, and now you play against such an opponent. How difficult is it to prepare for such a game, for such a different opponent? Can you simulate that somehow? No, not really. These are experiences that you have to make. Yeah. You cannot play that in training. But I would not say that we were swamped by their speed. No, not at all. If you look at the pictures, whenever we put pressure on them, it was difficult for them. Whenever we didn't put pressure on them, yes, that's when these players have the speed and are very precise. And if you're very precise, then the speed is even quicker. And we had problems with these situations. So what was the problem? I'm sure you told them to put pressure on them. Well, yeah, but it was the last bit of belief. And also the pressure of the opponent, of course. So if you're down 1-0 so quickly and then you concede another one, and then you have a few difficult situations, then you don't have the same belief as before, then that's what happens in that situation. But we have to make these experiences. We now have to learn from these experiences. We have to benefit from them. And then in the next game we'll have to try to do it better. But in training you will never be able to play like this. That's impossible. Yeah, you can get near that, but never like that. Because otherwise we would have to know everything about Arsenal, and yeah, that's not possible. So you've played 2 games. Where are you after 2 games? Well, for me, the first game, we didn't capitalize enough. So we dominated the game over 90 minutes. And if you do that and you only get 1 point with that, that's not enough. I believe that today we saw our limitations today, and that's good to see that. But now we have to learn, we have to benefit from that, and now we'll have the next one that's not so easy with Paris. Well, that task will definitely not be easy, that will be equally difficult. And at halftime at the other game it was 1-1. So there you can see the quality of Ludogorets. But anyway, we're lacking points, and now we have to try to change that in Paris. Any questions? Thank you very much.